So I am currently working on trying to get my swing back. I'm gonna put up a video of where I was originally, where I got to, and where I was at yesterday. So I'm trying to get back to where I got to. I took like a few days break and didn't really like work on my iron play as much, and so I just lost it all. So right now the goal is just trying to get back to that level of technique and just get through the patterns and the sequences that I was getting at before. Hopefully I can get there in 20 shots, so let's find out. Okay, so now that I've done a bunch of swings and I've gotten back to the swing that I want to have, let's go over and analyze the bad swing, the swing I got to and I was really happy, the swing that I messed up, and then the fixes I took to get back to where I was really happy. So we're just going to start with the first video, which is my really bad swing from a year ago. And yeah, so here we'll just notice like I'm quite vertical here. I have more flexion in my lead wrist. So, I mean not flexion, but extension. And I'm looking to get flexion later on, right? But I didn't really think about that at the time. I was really trying to get my hips open in this swing, but you'll see I can't really do that. So I really cut across the ball right here, right? Really just cutting across, chest is super closed, and arm is chicken winging like crazy. So that was the bad swing, and we'll watch it one more time. Great. So that was the bad swing. Then we'll look at the swing that I really liked. And there were a bunch, but I liked this one like most recently. So, and I was really trying to keep my head down in this video, but see, there's me just like warming it up, trying to like get the feeling right. And then here we go. So I'm really way more leaned over at the top of the backswing compared to the bad swing from 2021. And then you'll notice also that my lead wrist has more flexion in it. Here it looks pretty flat, but I can feel like it feels more bowed to me. So straight arm here, you'll notice that I have a lot more chest rotation. The trail arm elbow is also getting way more externally rotated. So when we get to the top of the backswing, the chest starts to rotate a bunch, and the path of the club is really in to out. And that's a great swing. So I really like this swing compared to the original one from a year ago. So then we'll get into the bad swing. So the bad swing was kind of like I only took a few days break, and then I got to this swing somehow, and I really don't know how because I'd practiced so much to get to the really good swing that I liked, and I just showed you. So this is the swinger I messed up yesterday. All right. So good takeaway. You'll see I'm still like leaned over really nicely at the top of the backswing. Lead wrist has flexion, which is good. But you'll see that the head comes up, right? Right, starts to move up. Pre-impact. Chest isn't really opening as much. Hips aren't open as much. Really closed, using a lot more hands. You'll see the hands really rotated over. And arm's not as bad as like from a year ago, but it's still bent. And I'm trying not to do that right now. And so that was the bad swing, right? So now I've been working towards, and the end of that, I was able to actually get a working swing. So now we'll go over the swings that I did today. It took me about 17 strokes to get to where I was like really happy again. So this is the first swing I took of the day. And I really hadn't thought about anything, just about like staying more bent over at setup and rotating more with the chest. So that's a lot better than the swing I just showed you. As you can see here, the chest is opening up much better. The trail elbow is getting more inside. And the lead arm is way straighter in post impact. And the head stays down a lot better. It still moves up right here. You'll notice it's moving up a little bit. So that's what I want to weed out. So basically what I'm going to work towards in the next several videos for my swings is that I want to get my head down. I want to get my chest a little bit more open, and I want to get my lead wrist more flexed, so get it more bowed, and get this trail elbow a little bit more inside. So here it's not bad, but I'm trying to get it really inside. So it's actually really good there, but yeah, we're gonna try and get all these way more extreme to get to the swing I'm trying to get to, and get back to where I was about a couple weeks ago. So that was the first swing of the day out of the 17 that I took to get back. So here's the second swing. So sorry, it's a little bit blurry from the camera. I forgot to like refocus, but I'm just working on getting more flexion in the lead wrist here, and I'm just gonna do some practice swings, and that's what I do before every swing. So what I have wrong here is I have a really inside takeaway, right? But let's see, I'm a little bit more flat with the lead wrist, so a bit more flexion. Chest gets a little bit more open. Trail elbow's a little bit more behind compared to the first video. Head stays down more, but still comes up a little bit. So it's actually the same in terms of head movement. And that lead arm is not bad, but it could be a little bit more straight in terms of what I'm practicing. So that was the first swing, more flexion. The second swing is I'm working on straining out my lead arm. And I clearly didn't like it from that from the post when I was finishing the post impact. So all right, here's the takeaway. So this one's a little not as inside, which is good. Here we can see that flexion is carrying over from the first swing, which is great. And that arm is way straighter post impact, way at the top of the end of the swing. So let's see if the head stays down. Nope, it's moving up a lot in this one, right? So trail elbow, we miss a frame here, but let's see, we can maybe get it. So I'm trying to get it inside of that trail pocket on my shorts. So I wish I could be a little bit more inside, but that's actually not that bad. But chest, I feel like it'd be a little bit in a better position here. And yeah, so we're going to work on that in the next swing. So now we're going to get into the 1, 2, 3, the fourth swing here. So now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get my trail elbow moving downward. And what that's going to help me do is keep my head down. So I'm trying to get it, I wanted to get it lower, not like where my hip line is, but even more like to the mid part of this pocket in the in that downswing. All right, so we'll see I'm moving down right here, which is good. That's me, like that moving down right there is just me getting this trail elbow down. It's causing that thought process is causing my body to lower a little bit more here. And you'll see the head is going to stay super stable right here, right? Much better. So that head movement is awesome. And it's awesome because there is no movement. We'll watch it one more time. So that's a good swing. All right, now we're going to into the fifth swing. So let's see what I'm going to work on here. All right, now I'm looking to continue the elbow going down because, and I must have missed it in my analysis here, but basically in post impact, my head is clearly starting to move up a lot earlier than I want it to. So there's already moving up, right? Staying down, and then it's moving up already. So what I'm thinking when I'm looking at these videos is, okay, keep my head down even longer through post impact. So that's what we're gonna see in this one. That's why I am telling myself, hey, drive that elbow and down and keep it going down through post impact. And it's obviously not going to, but that thought makes your body stay down a little bit longer and it keeps the head down longer. See, so that you'll already notice right there, the head stays down way longer. So there, it's stable, it's stabilizing like right here, post impact or impact, and then post impact. So it starts to move up, same level, and the club's way further along now than the last swing, and it's still further along. The head's still down, and now it's starting to come up like a tiny bit, but basically it's staying down the whole time, which is great. Lead arm could be a little bit more straight in post impact. Let's see, the trail elbow is way in front of that trail pocket. So I'm way, way, way deep, which is good for, but that's what I'm like just working on right now. And chest is nice and open, so that's good. All right. Next swing. I think this is number 6. All right. So I didn't like how my trail elbow was a little bit too far off my body in that last swing, so I'm gonna just like pull it back in, because when it gets off my body, I tend to like hit it towards the heel of the club. So I'm trying to get it more central in the center of the face, and that elbow coming off my body is one of the reasons why I do that sometimes. So let's see if I can. We'll see if it gets closer to the body here. And you'll see I'm trying to do that probably with a really inside takeaway, just feeling my elbows like really close to my body at the top of the backswing. And I'm going to get rid of that in a couple swings here. And see, it's already way closer to the body. And we still get inside. But the head is starting to move up already. Right? And this is bent again. So, next swing. Moving it down through post impact again. We're going to work on that. I'm going to keep it close. So those are now having two thoughts. Keep it close to me and keep driving it down through post impact. Okay, here we go. So it's clearly closer to me, right? So let's see if it keeps my head down. So my head's moving up still. So we'll find out what we do in the next swing here. And I wasn't very happy, as you can see, in the last part of the video. I did not like that. So next swing. All right, I don't want an inside takeaway, so that's what I'm working on. Not too deep of an inside takeaway. This one's going to be a bit more steep, but not that bad. Right, and there's me feeling it out, and then here we go. So clearly way steeper. The club is passing not through. It's not bisecting that trail arm, so it's a little bit too steep for me in this swing here. But we shallow out nicely. Still bowed nicely here. Good flexion. Hands above the head. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if the head stays down. Head moves up, and that comes in bent. So I want that straight, and elbow driving down. All right, this takeaway is much better. It's basically bisecting the trail arm the whole time, which is awesome. Nice bowing at the lead wrist. Elbow is starting to externally rotate here. Head stays down. Way better here. Way better. And straight in post impact. That's awesome. And we'll notice the elbow still stays close to the body. But it could be a little, see if it could be a little bit closer. Yeah, see, so it's a little bit too far off. It could have been a tad bit closer, and that would be the difference between hitting it closer to the heel and hitting it more towards the center for me. Next swing. All right. So there, I'm just talking about, hey, Don't hit it towards the heel, hit it in the center of the face. I want more bowing of the wrist, of the lead wrist. And I'm guessing I'm trying to compress the ball a little bit more, or I just like didn't like it enough in that last video. And the iPhone got tilted, that's why it's not as good of an angle here. Okay. 2 inside, take away. There's more bowing going on in this one. And you'll see the impact there is so much better. There's the center of the face. That was a good, I stopped that like perfectly. Elbows inside that trail pocket, or basically like on the line of it. Head stays down. That comes in a little bit too bent. The lead arm was too bent. All right, next swing. All right, I also didn't like, let's go back to this last one. So I think I picked it clean instead of hitting the mat. And just watch if the mat moves. The mat doesn't move at all. So that means I picked it clean, so I'm not hitting down enough on the ball. So that's what I'm working on the next swing here. And like you'll notice like a lot of these things look really similar, but these tiny details that I'm trying to clean up to get back to a better swing. So like to the swing that I'm wanting right now. And the way that I can, so what I'm doing here again is driving that elbow down. That's going to make me move down, and higher chance that I'm not picking the ball clean. I'm getting a divot going. And I'm probably going to chunk it here because I'm going to over exaggerate. So we'll find out. Also want a steeper takeaway, not so inside. Okay. All right, that's better, but could be a little bit not so deep. All right, so this one I chunked. It actually shook the earth. All right, let's see. Could be a little bit more bowed. Head stays down, which is great. So basically I chunked it because you'll notice I'm leaning back like a little bit. Like I'm like, in my mind, this looks like it's leaning back a lot. I feel like I can tell in that video. I'm just like a little bit leaned back with the chest instead of getting it forward. So the next video I'm going to work on moving it forward. That way I don't chunk it that bad. So chest, I'm saying move it forward as a rotating. Move it forward as a rotating through the shot. Let's see. Also, straight arm. Alright, could have a little bit better takeaway. There we go. Shallows out, good. And let's see this right here. Head's moving up. I picked it clean. Again, but we didn't chunk it. So our chest was moving forward. I wasn't leaning back as much. Looks a little bit better. Okay. Sometimes we progress, sometimes we move back. So it's always just a balance of getting the two. So because I picked it clean and the head moved up, trail elbow, moving it down through post impact. Two inside with the takeaway. There we go. So see, you'll see this one. The mat moves and my head stays down. Right. I'm gonna find it right. Okay, right here. So this is where the head stabilizes. And it's moving up a little bit. Oh, let's see when it moves up. It starts to move up right after post impact, so it could do a little bit better job with that. But we pick it better. We hit a bit more divot in that shot, so that's good. All right. We're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That was the 13th swing, so I took like 4 more swings till I was like perfect. So I didn't like how the head moved up, so I'm trying to drive the elbow even more down, right? Don't want too deep of a takeaway, and yeah. And straighter lead arm through post impact. Okay. There's me filling it out, and here's it in the swing. All right, there's a better takeaway. It's going through the trail arm. The shaft is. Head's coming up too early, so I probably picked it clean too. Yeah, I hit a little bit, but let's see this one more time. Good bowing, but watch, that head's moving up so much. So that was a big, like, we moved back a lot in that one. All right, this one, really drive it down, like really focus on that and straight arm here. So we keep falling back on the same thought with that trail elbow, moving it down. Sometimes you gotta keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, till you really feel like you've gotten the right result. So, not that you feel it, like you actually do get the right result. That's what I meant to say. Okay. Good takeaway. All right, so let's see what happened here. Did the head stay down? Head stays down. It starts to move up a little bit right now, but trail elbow's way inside, which is good. Let's see if it's straight post impact. Yeah, there we go. Could have been a bit better. Okay. This, moving it forward. So I think I chunked it a little bit in that last one. A little steeper takeaway, but that's pretty good. Good bowing, external rotation. There we go, head staying down. Nice. Let's see. Really leaned over. That's gonna be in the center of the face, which is good. Nice. Okay. And then that was the second to last swing, so here's the final swing. So let's see what we work on here. Chest really moving forward, and trail elbow pushing really far to the ground. So I think my head moved up a little bit too early in that last swing. All right, good takeaway. So I stopped here because I was like, okay, we got the swing finally. Bisects that trail arm basically the whole time, never under or over. Bowing's not too bad. This is here, it's starting to externally rotate, hence we get the shallowing. Really leaned over. Head's turning like forward, but that's really not like that. That's not really not a big deal, to be honest. This moves, so we actually hit the floor, which is good. Elbow is like super inside. Head stays down like a super long time. And that's straight. So we'll watch it one more time. There, now it starts to move up. It starts to move up right now. Pretty much right when the club was like 45 degrees off the ground. Good swing. We'll watch that one more time. In hole. Alright, so that was how I took my swing from looking like this really bad one. Well, that's not how I took it from there. That took a lot of work to get from that awful swing to this really good swing. But you know, it took a lot of, you know, just redoing the same things over and over again, but really having to feel it out, combining, okay, that's good now. Okay, now we're going to add this element, get this straighter. Cool. Once we get that, all right, we also have to make sure we're bowing the wrist nicely. Okay, cool. I'm chunking it. Okay, move the chest forward a little bit as we're hitting the shot, right? I'm not leaning back so much that we're not hitting down the ground early. So, and then sometimes I just redo it over and over and over. Oh, yeah, you didn't drive it down enough, so you got to drive it down more, you know? And so combining it all, and you just got to I kept being persistent with it to get back to exactly where I wanted to be with the swing. And yeah, so that was like a bit of a process. But let's compare like that swing, the last one, to the very first swing. Yeah, so that's kind of how I went through those shots to get back to where I wanted to get to. A little comparison between one of my very first swing videos and where I was, like, you know, about an hour or so ago. And yeah, so I'm just like constantly working on getting that right swing. So now I've just got to continue to just keep doing the same corrections over and over until like I don't have to think about them. That's what I thought I had finally gotten to, but guess I hadn't when I had hit, that swing yesterday where I was like moving up, head extension, early extension, chest wasn't opening up, and elbow wasn't getting as inside, wasn't opening up enough. So sometimes you get to where you want to get and you can do it like over and over and over again, but like I did, I took a couple days off and then I was back like a couple weeks. So luckily, because I've done it so much, I was able to get back to where I needed to be in a really, really short time frame. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope it helped you out with some of your own swing analysis and how you go over your process. And if you really like the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more content. All right, thanks so much. See you next time. All right. I don't even know how I look in this video. Let's see. So I am